Here's how to actually get rich online. First, I want to congratulate you for actually clicking on this video. There's no thumbnail that triggers your dopamine to click on this video. It's just a regular title, regular thumbnail, but you decided to click on this video. Now this video is going to be filled with straight information. So if you are into that dopamine style of content, then this is not the video for you. This is going to be in-depth of how to make money online. That is it. There's no flashy edits, nothing else, just how to make money online. Watch this video to the end to reap the full benefits. That's all I can say. There's no fluff in this video, and let's get right into it. I know who you are. I know the position that you're in right now, okay? I know the market because I was the market. I know what types of videos you're watching, and I understand my audience. So that brings us into the first point. This is you right now. So you probably have a business model, maybe it's SMMA, maybe it's dropshipping, whatever your current business model is to make money online. This is you, okay? But let me ask you this. Would you actually buy your product? Because like I already mentioned, I know my audience because I was my audience at one point. But if you have a business, would you actually buy your product? Because you actually have to be interested in your product to actually sell it. This is how it works, okay? If you're not interested in your product, then you would have to study 10 times harder to learn how to sell your product than if you were interested in it and you knew about it. Because just imagine how hard it would be to figure out how to sell to a certain group of people if you're not that certain group of people. It's so much harder. And like I was saying earlier, the only way to know the market is to be the market. So if you're not in the market for that product, service, whatever it is, then why are you selling it? It's gonna be so much harder. So make sure you choose something that you're actually interested in. Now for me, this is content, and the reason I'm actually able to talk on camera and sound the way I do, sound confident in a sense, is because I know what I'm talking about, and we'll get into that later in this video. Another thing I'd like to add is that you could have everything right with your business. You could be the best salesperson, the best everything at your business. But if you're missing this one thing, then you're not going to succeed. Every successful business person is actually good in this space. And this space is patience. You must be patient if you want to succeed in business. If you're impatient, if you're hopping business model to business model, then it's not going to work for you. It can't, because it takes time for each business model to work. This is actually called shiny object syndrome. This is when you're hopping from the next best thing to the better thing to the next best thing. Just stick with one. Like, think about an old business model. Think about SMMA for an example. That's been around for a while now. Does it still work? Absolutely. It still works. If you just stick with it, and if you do it for a year, then you'll become successful. So if you're impatient, then this is actually gonna stop you from making money. You're not gonna make any money if you're impatient, because it just won't work. And here's why. Here's a little chart that I made here, and this represents time, and this represents money, of course. So when you start a business, say this is like month 1, you won't see any results. Maybe you'll see a little bit of success, and then the next month, you might not see any more success. Then maybe a little one here. But then it's gonna remain pretty flat for the next couple of months. And of course, it could be early, it could be weeks, but for the most part, it's gonna be months. And after months and months of trying and improving, then you'll finally see this curve right here. Now this is where you start making so much money. Now, so many people quit here. So many people quit at the very beginning. Now, if you actually clicked on this video, if you're not enticed to dopamine content, then I'm sure you didn't quit there. But potentially, you quit here and start a different business model. And if you didn't stop there, then I would say 95% of people stop here. Now that is right before you see success. And want to know why people actually see success at this rate? Want to know why the chart is flat and then it just shoots right up? The reason for this is because they're reflecting. They are reflecting on what they did wrong. If you aren't reflecting on what you did wrong, then why are you even doing it in the first place? Because if you make a mistake here, imagine you just made the same mistake over and over again, over and over again, then you would never see success. You wouldn't. It's only until you fix these mistakes, you learn from them, that you'll finally start seeing this. It happens for everyone that actually sticks to a business model and stays with it for a year, 2 years, however long it takes. It will work. If it's a proven business model, then it can work. And that brings us on to our other point. It also gives you proof of concept. So that's what POC stands for, proof of concept. So what that means is that even though you're not seeing any monetary gains, even though you're making $0 for months, potentially years, that doesn't mean you're not actually improving. What you're gaining is proof of concept. So say I started a SMMA, okay? If this was my SMMA and I made $0 the first month, then say I get a client here, but since I'm trying to build my testimonials, I work for free. So this is still zero money. And then if I get like 5 more clients here, get more testimonials, work for free, then guess what? I have 6 testimonials that I can now use to prove to future clients why they'd want to work with me, why I'm the best in the industry. And you need a certain pain point as well. You need to know why you're either the best or why they should buy from you. So for me, my selling point is being young. I'm 16, and I'm going to use this to my advantage by selling to younger individuals. Because I'm 16, that is my selling point. Now you need to have a selling point. It could be you're the best at running Facebook ads. It could be your products ship within 3 days. Whatever it is. You just need to have a selling point to stand out in a competitive market. So even if you don't see success in money, you'll get proof of concept, and that's when the graph will go like this. And want to know the truth about business models? Want to know what one's the best? SMMA, dropshipping, personal brand, short form content agency. Want to know what one's the best? The truth is they are all terrible. Every single business model out there is terrible. And what I mean by terrible is that business is hard, okay? What I mean is that no business model is easy. The next new thing is probably not any easier than the old thing, as long as you stick with it, okay? Every business model is hard. If making money was easy, then every single person would do it. But it's not. It's hard. It takes work, but it is possible. So this up here was actually me around a year ago. So here I am. I had one business model. This right here was actually a social media management agency. I had that for around 2 months. Then I switched to social media marketing. Then I switched to building a personal brand. Then it could be affiliate marketing for you, okay? It could be any business model. But if you keep switching, so say I switch every 2 months, that means I have 6 business models in a year. And if I have 6 business models in a year, what one do you think I'm good at? The answer is none, because I didn't stick to any of them for longer than 6 months. If I stick to the first one for a whole year, then it would have became successful. There's no way it couldn't. Imagine you did something every single day, repeated for 365 days. You would obviously be good at it. There's no way you wouldn't be. The biggest mistake is that people keep switching and switching and switching. Just stick to your business model. Okay? Just stick to it. It will work. So let's imagine that this is your life. And this is a deck of playing cards. Okay? You are born with different traits. Now I'm not talking about traits that you can actually change, but I'm talking about traits that you are actually born with. So you could think about this playing card as if you were born rich or if you were born poor. You could think about this one as if you're an introvert or an extrovert. Now this one could be if you were born in a first world or third world country. And now there's so many different traits. There's so many different things that you can be born with. And you cannot control any of these things. But what I'm telling you to do is use these playing cards to your advantage. Now if you use these to your advantage, then you'll actually be able to become successful so much faster. So for example, say I was an introvert. Say I didn't like talking. And then say I started an SMMA because Iman Ghanzi told me to. Now if I just started it because I was told to, but I didn't actually look into it and realized that I had to do so many cold calls, so many just talking to people that I don't even know, then it would not be a good business model for me. But say I just get into it anyway because I was told to, because it's a good business model, whatever, it's the next thing. And here's a little illustration of why it wouldn't work. Say I'm trying to swim upstream. So say I'm going 5 miles an hour. I can swim 5 miles an hour, okay? That is nothing against the river that is going 10 miles an hour. I'm backtracking. I'm not making any progress. This is because I'm using the wrong business model for what I was born with. You have to use what you were born with to your advantage. And I'm not saying that if you're an introvert that you shouldn't do this business model. If you're an introvert but you want to start talking to people more, you want to start learning this skill, then by all means go for it. But if you're an introvert and you're completely fine where you are, then don't go for this business model. Do something else, like dropshipping. That also works. Do something else, okay? So now we move on to the number 1 secret. Do you want to know why Andrew Tate can speak so well? Do you want to know why all these top gurus are able to speak endlessly and sound very smart in their videos as well? Now the secret is that there is no secret. There is no secret for how they're able to speak well. All I can say is that they've done it hundreds of times. They've spoken hundreds of times, they reviewed their content, and they made it better. There's no secret trick that'll just make you better. So say I post 100 videos on my channel. This will get you so far. If you just record and upload 100 videos to YouTube, do you know how much progress you will make? You will make so much progress. I've recorded around 300 long-form YouTube videos on this channel and others. And now I'm able to speak a little bit better. When I first started, you could look at even the videos on this channel. This wasn't my first channel, but just look at the first videos on this channel. Look how I spoke. Now look how I'm speaking now. It's way different because I improved. And the only way to improve is by actually doing the work. And also by sticking to it. If I just switched to a different business model, if I stopped my personal brand, then I wouldn't be good at speaking anymore. I'd have to learn something else. So it takes time. But just put in the time, put in the work, and you'll get there. And this brings me on to the point that knowledge is actually confidence. If I know a lot about a certain topic, then I will be able to talk about it for hours. Like, for example, I know a lot about cameras. So if I were to talk about shutter speed, ISO, aperture, then I could talk about that for hours. And I would be confident talking about it. But if you were to make this video, if you were to make this exact video, you could copy me word for word. Your video would not sound as confident as me, because you'd actually have to read the script. You'd have to read it word for word. It just wouldn't sound as good. And in return, the video probably wouldn't even get as many views. And humans are actually hardwired to pick up on authenticity. That's right. Humans can actually pick up on this. So if you do make this video, copy it word for word, then it won't perform as well because humans will click off of it. The reason they'll click off of it is because they know that you're not telling the right information. It just doesn't feel right. Humans know this. And that's why they'll click off the video. And then if they click off the video, that's a low view duration, so YouTube won't promote your video and it'll get less views. So that's probably why this video has more views. Okay? And think about this. Why are you still watching? Why are you still watching this video? It's because I know what I'm talking about. You can tell that I know what I'm talking about. I couldn't just make it up and talk like this. And I know you can tell that because you're still watching the video. You wouldn't be still watching the video if you didn't think I know what I'm talking about. But clearly you do. Okay, there's zero reason why you'd be watching this video this far in. We're probably 15 minutes in. There's no reason you should still be watching it if you're not interested, if you don't think I know what I'm talking about. And in this video, there's no ums or ahs because I've practiced that. That is very important. Do not use these words. I actually used to slap myself when I said these words. Okay, that's how I practiced. It's not just practice makes perfect, but you actually have to reflect. You have to look back, see why you made these mistakes, reflect on it, and then push forward. And that's what I did. I don't use these words anymore. It just sounds so unprofessional that I don't use them in my videos or in my day-to-day life. I just don't use them. They're very unprofessional. They're just fillers. And I don't like to add any fillers to my videos. I don't like to add any fillers to my speech. None of that. So make sure you're cutting this out, especially if you're building a personal brand, but also if you're cold calling, also if you're doing anything. Just cut out these words. I don't even like looking at them. Okay? It's that bad. And then make sure you're proving yourself. Make sure you prove yourself. That means you prove yourself to yourself and you prove yourself to others. So like I said, you'll start at 0. You'll be at 0. Could be days, okay? If you get lucky. It's not even luck. But if you have the right coaching, if you have the right strategies, it could be days. If you have business experience in general, it could take days. But it could take months. It could take years. But you're still proving yourself. You're still building it. You're still building your brand, your identity, just by continuing to do this for years and years. This allows you to prove yourself. And this allows you to be able to sell so much easier. So much easier. Now I want to show you guys some funnels. So these are some YouTube funnels, and these are actually ones that I have used. So I didn't just make up these numbers here. I've actually done all these funnels, and I wrote the correct numbers corresponding to what I was able to get. Okay? This funnel here, this is more friction. The more friction funnel. More friction means it has more steps. Look at this funnel. It has 10 steps just for them to actually get to the end goal. Now that's a more friction funnel. And when you have more friction, that equals less volume. You'll get less leads. That's how it works. If it's harder to get into a certain product, certain service, then you'll get less leads. Now that's obvious. But also more friction equals higher quality leads. Because if I have all this, look, I have YouTube, so a YouTube video, and then people click on the link in the description. Then they have to go through email 1, then email 2, then the landing page, which has free training and testimonials, etc. Then they go to my paid school. And then eventually I could upsell them on coaching. So I could only upsell them on coaching if I actually get them results in my paid school. If I actually make them enough money so that they can afford the coaching. That's the only way it's possible. Other than that, I wouldn't be able to use this funnel. And then this last step here, this is events. So this is like my coaching clients that are actually performing so well that I want to travel with them, go to networking events with them, and I'd actually become friends with them. So that's my whole funnel, okay? It all comes from YouTube, and then it goes all the way down to people making, $50,000, $100,000 a month that will be able to go on travels, will be able to go to different events, all that stuff. Now, this is a funnel that I'm currently using right now. So if you do want to check it out, click on the first link in the description and just study from that funnel as well. There is a free training, like it says here, and testimonials. Okay, I'm not forcing you to click on this, but this is one way that I'm making money. This is how I'm making money online. Okay, this is how I'm doing it. So check out the link. You'll find so much value in that. There's free trainings. There's all of that in there. And then this is the funnel. I'm not hiding it. I'm not hiding it at all. This is it. And this is how many people will actually go to each step in the funnel. Like I said, this is more friction. So that's why we only have 2 coaching clients at the bottom. 2 coaching clients, but imagine how high quality they are. They went through all this and they still want to be my coaching client. Or even just a school community. They went through all this and still chose to go through the school community. And the reason I'm doing such a high friction funnel for this is because I only want quality people in the paid school community, which is called Freedom Empire. Now, I only want quality people in here. And the reason for that is because I don't want it to just be filled with hundreds of people that are just not serious about business, and then they'll claim that they didn't get the results. I want people that are serious, people that will put in the work. Of course, I'll motivate you too. And if you do click on the link in the description, you'll actually see what all this is about. But I only want top quality people. That's why there's so much friction. I want to funnel out. Look, we started with 10,000 people, and only 14 out of the 10,000 people get into the school community. And there's a reason for it. Because it's only the top people. It's even more. So I'm sure you've heard of the top 1% of people. But if you look at these numbers, okay, 10,000 and 14, that is less than 1%. So this isn't just the top 1%, this is like the top 0.1% of people. And I purposely made it that way, okay? I purposely made it that way. Now, here is a lower friction funnel. Now, lower friction equals more volume. You'll get a ton of leads with lower friction. But it's also lower quality leads. And this is the major downfall of a lower friction funnel. And just so you know, I have tried out both of these funnels. I didn't make any of these up. I've tried both of these funnels. Both of them work, okay? It's possible to make money with both. And I'm going to explain what one's better a little bit later on in this video. But for the lower friction funnel, we started at YouTube. Then, this is just for coaching, by the way. So they click the link in the description to book a call. Not everyone books a call. Not even half, okay? They book a call, though. 20 people out of 10,000, which is out of 50 clicks in the link. 12 people show to the call. It's around 60% of people actually show to the call. Now, it's important to have on reminders for this, okay? People book a call into the future. It's not their top priority to actually go to the meeting, go to the call, whatever it is. Their top priority is not you. And you have to understand this as a business owner. You shouldn't take it in the wrong way. You shouldn't be mad at them for not showing up. Sometimes you have to actually call them too. Sometimes I actually had them leave the number, and I called this guy once because he didn't show to the meeting, and he just said he accidentally chose the wrong time. And he was at the gym, he instantly went home, hopped on a call, and then I actually sold him for my coaching. As easy as that, just by giving him a simple call. If I didn't do that, then I wouldn't have closed him. And that's the truth, okay? People don't really care about you. You have to learn that. You have to actually earn your time. So by hopping on this call, I actually showed him everything that I could do for him, and that's why he decided to become a client. But as I was saying, like 60% of people show to the call. Make sure you have on reminders. Use Calendly for this. It's like $10 a month to actually have on reminders. The SD card just got full on the camera, so I just had to switch it. But what I was saying was that my rates are a little bit different than this, okay? So my rates from people that show to the call to people that I close is actually around 90%. So it's actually really high. But I'm just saying this because this is probably average. If you're not good at sales, if you've never been on a sales call, if you've never been on anything like this, then your rates will probably be like 4 out of 12, let's say. So that's fine, and you'll still get 4 coaching clients out of 10,000 views. Now that's really good, actually. And think about this. Out of this funnel, you get 14 people in the school community and 2 coaching. And then in this funnel, you get 12 people to show to the call, and you get 4 coaching. That's good, okay? But now think about the time it takes, all right? Booking a call. 20 people book a call. 12 people show. Do you know how long 12 sales calls would actually take? Probably around 12 hours is what I would say. Each call probably takes like an hour or so. So it will take around 12 hours to actually take all these calls. That is a lot of time, all right? So what funnel here do you think is better? Both of them will work, but what one is better? And I'll tell you what one is better, okay? Think about this. What is the max amount of money with the higher friction funnel? The answer is there is no limit, okay? And the reason is because it's fully automated at one of the steps. And that step is the school community. And the emails. Actually, the whole thing's basically automated besides the coaching and besides the events and travel at the end. Besides that, it's fully automated. And in the community, there is calls 2 times a week. But that doesn't change if I have 10 people in the community or 10 million. It doesn't change. The time is the same. So there's no limit on the amount of money you can make with that funnel. And it's not really because it's higher friction, but it's more because it's just automated. And of course, the more friction you have, the more automated you want it to be. Because if you have a high friction funnel and it's not automated, then what are you doing? Because that is so much work. Okay, imagine I had to manually send out hundreds of emails and all of that. That is just so much work. So that's why I'm saying a higher friction funnel is usually more automated. Now think about this one. Think about the lower friction funnel. How much money can you actually make? Now, it actually has a cap. You can only make, I calculated this, by the way. I didn't just pull up this number. It's $126,000 per month. You can only make $126,000 per month with the lower friction funnel. And that is because it's not automated. You actually have to coach your clients. Now, if you're coaching your clients, that takes time out of your day. You can't just outsource this. You can't just tell someone else to coach your client. That does not make sense. You took them on as a coaching client. You have to coach them. So that's why the cap is $126,000 per month. Think about this. Say you can take on 21 clients. Now, 21 clients is a high amount, all right? So this is why it's the capacity. So that would be 3 meetings a day. And then this would be 7 times a week. So you're taking 3 meetings a day, 3 coaching calls a day, and you're doing this 7 days a week. That's insane. That is so much work. But that's the amount of work that it'll take if you actually want to make $126,000 per month. And this is at a high price too. So 21 clients for $6,000. That is what that would equal. Now, I wouldn't recommend your coaching being anything more than $6,000. That is a high price. And if it's anything more, then you have to be really good in your field. And if you are, then you can go higher. But I wouldn't recommend it. Unless you're super famous, you have over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, then I wouldn't recommend going higher than 6,000. So that's what you'll make. You'll make $126,000 per month. It's a lot of money. It's over $1 million a year. But is it really worth it with all the work? Like, why wouldn't you take the more friction route? Why wouldn't you? Of course, you can still do coaching. If your thing is coaching, still do it. But make sure it has more friction. Make sure you're only getting high quality people. Because even at this, okay, this is 3 meetings a day. So that's like 3 hours of coaching every single day, 7 days a week. That's a lot. But it's more than that. To actually get people to book a meeting, you have to post content on YouTube. You have to film it. You have to edit it. Of course, you should definitely outsource an editor. That is something that I've done, and that is something that's super useful. You should definitely do it because it saves you so much time. But you still have to film the videos. You still have to upload them. You have to do the thumbnail, title, whatever it is, unless you have a lot of money to pay people to actually do thumbnails and titles. Even then, you still have to record your video. Then, you have to go on sales calls. Now, look at the conversions down here, okay? We have 50 people that clicked on the link in the description, 20 people booked a call, 12 people show to the call. You're taking 3 sales calls before you're even getting a client. Before you're even getting a client, you have to take 3 hours of your time, and that's just for one client. So think about that. That also adds on to the 3 hours a day that you're doing 7 days a week. So that's 3 hours a day. Depending on how many leads you get, this could be 5, potentially 10 meetings a day. That's a lot of meetings. And that's only if you're getting a ton of views on YouTube. But still, I would just recommend that you take this funnel, this route, because it's so much more scalable. You can still do coaching. You have automated things, and you can scale it. There's no reason you shouldn't. I mean, if you are just starting and you want to try this funnel, because why not? You're just starting on YouTube, you're learning how to record videos, you're getting better at it, you're going to post 100 videos, get to the top quality, get to Andrew Tate's level of speaking, then just whatever, just go for that. Go for the lower friction model, okay? You can. It does work. I've tried both. Both work. But I'm just saying that if you're thinking in the long term, then choose the other one. But like I said, if you're just getting things together and you don't want to build out a whole funnel, then just go for this one for the first couple of months. You can't go wrong with it. You can always switch too. And I switched as well. I started off with this and I switched to this. Now let's go back a little bit. So it all comes down to proving yourself. If you can prove yourself to yourself and your audience, then you'll actually become successful. Like, you're still watching this video. Even this far in the video, you're still watching. The reason is because I know what I'm talking about. I proved myself to you. I related to you as well. In the beginning, that's also a very important sales tactic, by the way. I'm going to give you this information for free. A good sales tactic is to relate to your audience. I related to you at the beginning of this video. Now, I'm not sure if you remember, because this is a long video, but what I said was that I know who you are. And I know who you are because I know the market because I was the market. That's what I said, okay? That's what I said to hook you, to get your attention, because I know what I'm doing in this space. I've been in it for a while now. I've started my first YouTube channel 7 years ago. Then I started consistently posting 5 years ago. Started this YouTube channel a few months ago. I actually started this one like 8 months ago at this point. But that's besides the point, okay? Just make sure you're proving yourself. And I'll tell you what, I didn't make any money in the first couple of months, okay? But I still proved myself. Look at where I am now. I'm able to speak so much better. None of the ums, none of the ahs. I'm telling you, I don't even like to say that. I actually used to smack my face when I said that. I don't like those words. I learned how to not say those words. All right, so proving yourself, right? Watch this. This all goes back to, ready for this? It all goes back to you. Everything goes back to you, okay? You have to start this business. You have to make it successful. You have to stick with it for a year. Stick with it for a year. What can go wrong, okay? Stick with it. It all comes down to you, your mindset, and I know if you're watching this far in the video, then you do have the right mindset. So just get to work. And if you do want to, check out the first link in the description below. That is the first step in my higher friction funnel. All right? Check it out, see if you like it, learn a little bit from it, and use it to your advantage as well. And also let me know what you think of this style of content in the comments below, because this is the first time that I'm actually using the whiteboard. So let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.